I got commercial. I'll turn it down.
He's not doing anything.
There you are. You're there.
Oh. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Rock Room. It's always funny looking at the laptop. The laptop legs like 3 or 4 seconds behind. You can actually watch yourself in past tense. So yeah, so this we're going to be cutting some rocks. Looks like 4 of us will be cutting some rocks. maybe 4, maybe not. Nope, Brenda's bowing out. She's choking already, so Brenda's probably bowing out. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Jeff, you back off the road now? Or are you still out on the road right now? What is it, Saturday? No, Saturday you should be home, right? Hi, Tree. How you doing? Welcome to the, I'm sorry, I'm looking, I'm trying to read over here and not over here. Welcome to the show.
Stop looking.
Yeah, I gotta stop looking at it. So yeah, we're gonna be cutting some rocks in a couple seconds here, or in a couple minutes, as soon as some other people show up. Oh, you got home like 3 hours ago? Yeah, hallelujah. I gotta leave tomorrow morning, so yeah, I know that, bud. Freaking crazy ass. I always do that. Crazy truck driving, right? Always something. Sounds like your new job's keeping you much, although they give you some time to where you can move around. It sounds, I mean, do some rock hunting. It does sound like they hi Cynthia. It sounds like hey Meg Mac. It sounds like the new job you're working more hours. I know we watched that video, the one you just did this week, and you look tired. You look very tired, boy. I know that feeling. I'm the night guy, so yes, I stay up all night, and I just stay up all night for just those couple nights of the week, and then I completely switch back over, and then the rest of the week I'm normal guy. So yeah, it gets oh, you're from Wisconsin too? Woohoo. Oh, you're in Wisconsin too. Are you Meg, are you in Wisconsin, like living in Wisconsin, or just visiting Wisconsin? Oh, you're a night owl too, Tree? Yes, yes. Hallelujah for night owls, right? Yes, we do a lot of swapping. Like we go, literally it's nights and then it's days and then it's nights and then it's days. So yeah, it's kind of like a swing shift. Lakewood, Florida?
No.
Upers. Oh, you're up in the UP, huh? Yes. Yeah, we've done a lot of we've done a lot of Upin up there. I've got
Tree is in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's a Wisconsin's place?
Yes, Lakewood
nice.
is Wisconsin.
Lakeland, Wisconsin?
Lakewood.
Lakewood. Oh, Lakewood. I'm not familiar where Lakewood is. Oh, by Mountain. Okay, yeah, okay, I know where that at. That's like on 64 or 8 or something. That's kind of up north. We're in central Wisconsin here, so we're like kind of just a little east of Wausau. We're in Reed, but it's not even, we don't have no city center or nothing like that. Watertown, yes, I've been to Watertown too.
Yep.
Originally from Arizona, yes. Yes. What a transition coming from Arizona to coming to Wisconsin. Yikes. You probably want to go back to Arizona. Although, no, Arizona's got, every place has its ups and downs. Right now we're on the down because winter's coming and yeah, it's already getting cold and creepy. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice and warm in here.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Whitewater. My stepdad had a car dealership in Whitewater, and when we were kids, he made us kids go and move it all from Whitewater up here to central Wisconsin. And it was kind of, for him, it was like cheap labor, put the kids to work. They're free, right? What can you do? Between Baraboo and Madison. Ah, yes. Yeah, but we used to. But anyhow, so yeah, we were up in the Uper. I got a lot of Lake Superior agates. We got copper. We got all the fossils, the different the Petoskey stones and all them coral, the corals, the honeycomb coral, chain corals, a lot of that kind of stuff. Yes, everybody. I think everybody back in our day, my day, and yeah, I don't want to say our day because I don't know how everybody is, but yes, back in my day, you worked, and there was no video games, there was no TV, there was no phones, there was no nothing. You got up in the morning, you got out of the house, and you didn't come back. I got a hair flying around. You didn't come back till it was like dark. Like that's it. You're out. Get out. Stay out. Which was okay. It makes us.
Stones.
What?
Petoskey stones.
Oh, do you? Yeah. This is Here's a nice Petoskey right here. This is actually a real, if I can see my hand size, this is a nice one. Of course, and if anybody's good with the Petoskey stones, that like when you get these like little, where am I at here? These little, white things, to get a real good Petoskey stone, you're just looking for the dark orbs, that those are like. So this thing died when it was alive, and then these ones that are like the sand-filled spots, and everybody, if you ever see the backside of it.
Mick wants you to sell her that one.
Yes, yeah, right. Because this is a charmer, boy. I have another piece I just recently did. You think that was something? Here's a piece of coral, of honeycomb coral. I just recently did too. And how's that? So yeah, when you find, and if people aren't familiar with this, when you find this stuff, it don't look like this, and it doesn't take much to polish it because the stones are really soft. So it doesn't take much to polish them, but so you can get easy results. It's pretty easy to take a regular stone and get results like that. So yeah, they're fun thing to polish. I just do these on the cab machine too. So I pretty much do everything on the cab machine. So yeah, the fun working with these. I've got like here's a little smaller one, and again, you can see. I don't know how close I can get the alive ones compared to the ones with the dead sand spots. So you're always looking for, a quality piece. And again, this one is obviously just the top side of the coral, so you don't have the bottom. So it's just got all orbs or whatever. But again, this is kind of like a average piece. Hey Don, how you doing? No opals today, buddy. We're just doing some Wisconsin stuff. Oh no, and some Arizona stuff. I don't want to say just Wisconsin stuff. So yeah, some of this stuff, not this piece, but some of the stuff we're giving to Katie did. Has a auction she does, and she takes donations and then she sells them at an auction, and then she donates all the money to I can't remember the it's something Washington Girls Rock Club, something similar to that. So she when we were at the Spencer Oprah dig, she invited everybody to donate. Anybody had wanted to Geo Girls. There you go. Thank you, Cynthia. So yes, so she invited people that were out there, us makers that, if you wanted to donate some stuff. So I threw, and of course, being from Wisconsin, you want to throw some Wisconsin stuff in. So I threw some, some of the Petoskey stones and the fossils and some Wisconsin. I did some Wisconsin moonstone. Of course, everybody knows our, I don't know if I can get this to shine blue. You know, that's our Wisconsin moonstone. I just did some rough pieces, like a face polish on them. You know, because that always looks pretty good. And then, you know, here's a another piece. And again, it's hard to. There we go. I just had it for a second, right? Now, what did I do to get that? There you go. So I'm opposite of a light here. So yeah, so I did some Wisconsin moonstone. I did some Superior agates. You know, everybody's familiar with the Lake Superior agates. I did, and again, I just face polished them. So some of these Lake Superiors, and this one's got like great parallax banding in it. I know it's probably not going to come out real good. Hey Phil, how you doing, bud? And then of course, because we are Wisconsin in the Uper, I got some nice copper. You can
Tree
see
wants
the
to pay you to do some
some copper, some good copper ore
of her moonstone.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do. We do a lot of working on moonstone here. You can see the little bits of copper shining in there, and this is actually copper and quartz, and it also comes in this green stone. And again, you can see the copper forming in where the black is there. And again, I just kind of rough face polishes because we take this copper ore, and I make cabs with that too. And also I have some of the old copper plates that came from the old smelters where they smelted. You know, everything was lined in these called copper tiles. And it's actually a stone copper matrix, and they're really rare and really expensive. And I got a bunch of them, and I mean they're nice, big, huge squares of this copper composite thing. So yeah, we do that too. So yeah, hey Brad, welcome to the show. So yeah, so you know that kind of stuff is good for, you know, from people in Washington that might not have this kind of stuff available to them. So you can't rock hunt in the city. Yeah, it makes no, you can, because I know some people that are in the show that, man, they get a lot of nice rocks, like by like Walmarts, you know, where they got their parking stuff and then they got their little cement curbs. They throw rocks in there, and believe it or not, you get some really nice rocks in regular parking lots, gas station parking lots, you know, like banks and stuff like that have trees and shrubs that's all thrown, even like Culvers. They got these big rocks all thrown around, you know.
I don't know if everybody has Culvers.
Oh, well, I'm just saying any kind of restaurant. And then you just kind of like, you know, hi, Patty. You kind of walk around and you're kind of like looking down, and then you see something nice. Just take something and drop it. Like, oh, I dropped my pen, you know, and go down, bend over, pick it up, pick your rock up, walk back to your car. You got a really cool rock. Thanks, Walmart. You know, hey, Walmart. Hey,
Taco Bell and Appleton has.
Yes. You can, and believe it or not, and Jeff from JV Rock Hounding, he specializes in parking lot finds. He gets, I mean, these crazy looking Crowleys and different kinds of jaspers and agates. He's going all over. He's a truck driver like me, so he's going all over the place, and he is really scoring some nice stuff. You can turn this to read this. No, you'd rather read that. So yeah, rock napping. Is that like sleeping on a rock, or rock napping like making arrowheads? We got I got tons of arrowheads too. Don't do it successfully or to where you want to sell anything, but yeah, it's kind of easy to do, to make an ugly looking arrowhead, right? Yes, love them landscaping rocks. Thanks people for doing that. And the further you go up north, you know, then it starts to get to the Lake Superior agates, and people find a lot of Lake Superior agates in places up north. So that's something to keep in mind too. Even like Cheryl, Soul Adventurous, she gets some pretty good finds from going around from place to place. And then CCC Up North Adventures, now it's just plain old Up North. She changed her name. She goes around and she finds so many cool different stuff up there. So, and then also we have around here, we have ironstone and banded ironstone, and I was thinking about maybe sending that some stuff, but I've seen a lot of videos from people out west, and the banded ironstone seems to be pretty kind of common. We have banded iron here. Ours is like iron with a red jasper, and it's kind of like the same out there. So, I'm probably not going to send any of that because I'm just trying to pick specific stuff that is relatable to Wisconsin. And then I just threw in, like a couple other things laying around. I had this red tiger eye heart. Wow, look at that. Is that not freaking crazy or what?
Okay.
Yeah, Brent said okay. Hey, we got somebody Hey, little gumball, how you doing? Welcome to the crowd. Hey, Brad. Brenda's supposed to be keeping up on these. Hey, THY.
Yeah, that's because I don't know who they are.
Well, I'm not familiar with a lot of these people.
The YouTube just kind of changed, so it's giving weird stuff.
Brenda should be keeping up with the commentary, and Brenda's sitting right next to me. The phone, I could probably move now. You could probably move closer too. Although then
I'm just ready.
So
I'm ready for you to cut.
Anyhow, so I'll show you kind of what we're going to be cutting.
You're out of frame.
I know, I'm out of the frame. So if anybody's familiar with the agates that come out of Arizona, and this is kind of a mixed batch. A lot of these are from AZRE, which is AZ Rock Hounding Expeditions. Julian Bryan or Julian the Mule, and a lot of these are from them. Some other ones are from other area, or probably not other areas, but they're from Arizona. I don't know where Yosef gets these from, but they seem to be very, very similar, and they are really nice.
I agree. The electronics are very quirky.
Quirky?
Yeah.
What exactly?
Tree is saying that all the electronics from now until Halloween are going to be quirky.
Oh, right.
That's because it's spooky. It's all the spooks in them.
This red, beautiful red moss, and this piece is just, this is just all red, big chunk of red, nice solid. Lots of cabs in that. And it comes in such a variety of patterns and colors.
Looks like
a lot of golds, quartzy stuff. So I've got, and these are actually
and you didn't make me, so this one I think may be a bot and we can't get rid of it.
Who?
This TYH.
Oh.
And you don't have any administrators but Jeff.
Yes. I don't.
So we can't get rid of them.
Oh, well, that'll be right. We won't answer them. So they come in lots of different colors. But yeah, it's all amazing stuff. So that's what we'll be cutting. I saved a bunch. These are all like small ones, and these are, these got a lot of cabs to be cut out of yet. So
you just put your finger. Oh, there, Jeff will get it. Tell Jeff that Jeff, it looks like somebody is a bot in here. Can you get rid of them?
What are they commenting crap on, or what?
No, it just has a bunch of letters. They're commenting letters.
Oh, and they even have regular agates. Now, if you look at that one, and again, this didn't look like much on the outside. You wouldn't even think it was a geode. But yes, beautiful stuff. Thanks, Jeff. If that's what it was. Otherwise, some guy just got booted. For nothing.
Hopefully you got booted.
So yeah, it just said
Oh, okay.
got deleted by.
Good.
So yeah, so here's a one. So yeah, so we got a few people here. Let's we'll start cutting, right? And Ken, it's going to what's the word? Get noisy, right? As it always does, get noisy. So let's turn this camera around. I think, and hopefully I won't lose everybody. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't want to do that. That didn't turn it around. Oh, yeah, I got it right here. All right, there we go. Whew, thank God. So we'll cut some rocks. First, we got to drink some water. Not sponsored by ice. Well, that's some good stuff. Good H2O. So if Brenda wants to show the stuff here. Whoop.
Sorry if I got poor camera handling skills.
So we got these to cut. And then these. And if you look at some of these, you know, look at that body craziness going on there. And a couple of these, like I say, these are some monsters in here. I don't know where that, right here it is. Oh, of course it's stuck. It's stuck. And here's another one. Look at that. Is that not like, what and crazy? And this is a gold. But
Hi,
yes,
Vicky.
Crazy. Hey, Vicky. Crazy body stuff. So, yeah, that's what we'll be cutting. I don't know if I'll get time to go through all of them, but we'll get definitely some time to get through some of them. So, we will cut this one first, that Brenda's showing here. Now, that one kind of hard. See what that is? I'll just cut off the short end. And again, when I cut stuff, I don't cut stuff in half because we're cabbers here, so we're always going to use this material down the line. So, you know, I'm just thinking always cabbing size. So I'm just going to cut off, slice off the end, and then we'll be able to open it up, take a look at it, and then, you know, if it's going to be something we're going to cab in the future, then we can just keep taking slices off here like a loaf of bread. So if you cut it in half, you know, then, which you can, but then you got two halves to work with. And when you always get down to the end, that's the toughest piece to cut. So we'll just start from one end and cut her down. So
it's not pyrite. This is all Arizona stuff.
Yes. Pyrite or hematite. You know, I have stuff with like, and some of this Arizona stuff actually has bands of hematite in it. So, all right, let's cut
yes,
this
Jeff,
up.
you have to enter the cab count.
You're going to want to back up.
Okay, yes. Oh, I'm going to back up because this is going to be very loud. If this is too loud, I can mute it while he's cutting. All right, did you peek at this?
No.
Oh, you lie, probably.
All right, ready?
Yes. Ooh.
Ooh, let's go look at this.
That's very interesting.
This is a breccia. That is, it's not translucent.
That's some crazy stuff. That'll make a beautiful cab.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Wow. I'm going to keep this one for myself. Oh, that's right. They're all mine. Mine.
Put it in the empty bucket. There you go.
All right, on to the next. So next we'll cut this one. It's got a good Chalcedony center. The rest of it seems to be rough. I'll slice off that to try to see if I can get an opening to that thing there.
Vicky, is that better? That account a little bit better? So the phones are even strange by us. I couldn't call out tonight.
And her dad hurt himself.
Yeah, my dad hurt himself, so he went to the emergency, and I had to find out, and I couldn't call out. Everybody's name is wrong.
Not mine.
No, yours isn't, but everybody else's is wrong.
Oh. All right. Let's take a look at this guy. So I cut off that, figuring it was kind of round, so.
Oh, we are
It's
vertical.
obviously getting smaller.
That's why it's vertical.
It's got a little. Looks like a stomach with a little tapeworm.
Ah. Yuck.
I'm just saying. Yes, this is very, very translucent. Nice looking agate piece there. Little dendrites in there.
Well, that was pretty cool. Next.
Okay, now this one, I don't even know what this is. This is an agate or jasper or what? It's got some weird looking ladder pattern there and here. I don't know if I should try to cut this in half this way. That make a hard cut, but otherwise it's not going to be workable unless I do that. So let me try that.
The great experiment. And yeah, we have a fire going tonight. That sounds very hard. Was that very hard?
I think because it's just such a big surface area that it was definitely working on it. Oh, how did it go together now?
So you already peeped at it.
Well, I can't remember how it went together. Didn't matter if I peeked at it. All right, ready? Ooh, that is pretty bizarre again. That's definitely not a moss agate. This is more of a jaspery, but it's got some crazy looking pattern. And they have jasper and agates both. So, and you can see a little agate-y stuff going down there. Oh, that's how it went, just like that. So there you go. Yeah, that's strange.
Yes.
And yes, you can tell how hard it is. Pretty clinky. Not super clinky, but pretty clinky. Alrighty. We'll do this kind of brownish thingamo.
He looks plain Jane. We'll see. His wrapper looks plain. We'll see what he looks like in the inside.
A little slice off.
Oh, you're throwing stuff.
I broke it.
Oh, you broke it?
Of course I broke it. Why wouldn't I break it? That's all I do is break stuff. Alrighty. Ooh. That's
got a whole lot going on in there. Yeah, you're right. The floor broke it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of falling. I'm just afraid of the sudden stop. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not very colorful. It's colorful if you like brown color. Very brown, colorful. Okay, here's a big chalcedony vein running through the complete center of here. This kind of looks like it's got some nice pattern there, so although it is kind of the big end, maybe I'll cut it off at like kind of like an angle like that. And see what
sorry
happens.
guys, I was a little blurred there.
Blurred.
Yes, it was blurred.
Ready? Oh, look at that color on the bottom edge. Oh, that got some pretty colors in there.
Looks like
Yeah,
puffy
it's got
clouds.
pinks and reds, and this is actually like a lavender purple in there. A blurple. Yeah, that's a nice, pretty band. Here's got some red, some pretty good red up on top too. Yeah, that's pretty. I like that one.
Well, that's enough. Put it in the bucket.
All right.
Ugh.
What was that?
Plastic from your bucket handle.
Nice. Alrighty. Now here we got one of the classic reds. These are always nice. Although this got a big divot in there. A big divot.
Is that too loud? Back up a little so it's not so stinking loud.
What?
I said I had to back up a little. If it was too loud, I could mute it for a little bit.
Yes, or just back way up.
Yeah.
All right, here's the big, beautiful red. You know, like those red ones. Oh, yeah. No, that's red.
Is there fractures in there, or is those healed fractured?
That appears to be healed. I can't feel it with my fingernail.
Oh, good. Thanks, Cynthia. I'm glad that it's not that loud.
Nice one. Love that red. Everybody likes that red.
Yeah, it's the time of year that the motorcycles come in the inside to take a winter nap.
So now we'll cut this. And this is a piece of Brenda's red quartz
that I found in the yard.
That she was just going on about, and I said it's regular quartz
with white in the middle.
And it's iron stained red. So the second you cut this open, it's going to be white in the middle. And she's like, oh, but it's so sparkly. I said, yeah, because it's quartz, so it's made up with tiny little bits. So she wants me to cut this. We'll cut this, and we'll see if it's red or if it's white. And I say, because I know
that was a find right out of the back of the yard here.
And I know it's white.
Please, God, prove me wrong. Oh, that was a quick cut.
That cut like butter, which shows it's quartz and it's super soft. Okay, here it is. Is it going to be red or is it going to be white? It's white.
Kinda. You can see the staining.
So we get the iron stain and it starts to soak in. So yes, it's quartz. It's soft. And it's made up of tiny little
still looks
pieces of quartz. So you know where this goes? The yard.
Yeah, back to the yard.
Back to the yard for whence it came. For where it came. Yeah. I'll just cut a little slicer off the end here.
A little slicer.
Well, one side turned into rubble.
Oh no. Exploded?
So we could let's take a close look at this side first.
Yes, it did turn into rubble.
That's okay, because we need them little pieces when we tumble stuff to help tumbling.
So this Jeremy wants to know, what is the best diamond blade?
As far as manufacturer goes, boy, it all depends. You get this stuff from China, and that being said, you can, how can I put this? So you think like Highland Park or Kingsley or any of the other manufacturers, do you think they're making these diamond blades in their shop? No, they're ordering them from China. Just like when you go online and you get stuff from China, it's probably all the same stuff. So, it's like anything else you buy. You can get this stuff from China. You can get this stuff from China and then put your name on it and say, oh, but look at it's whatever. I've seen like Jared from Currently Rock Hounding test blades that he got from China that were like super cheap blades. And he under the magnifying glass, under a microscope, and he looked and he said, as far as like the diamond bits per surface area are just the same. He said, he cut and cut and cut and cut, and they lasted forever. So, really, I don't know if you can get a bad blade. When you come to blades, it's always about a thickness, and this on this high-tech 10-inch, and this is a smooth blade, a center blade. I've been using this blade for, years, and it's still like it's brand new. And this is the one that it came with. It also has one that has like the little grooves in it. I don't know where it's at. And that one's fine too, but when you're cutting with that little slots in there, it kind of like, and it's got like little teeth in it, so it kind of like jerky. So I like the smooth blades rather than a blade that's got like the little teeth. Like in my slab saw out there, that has like regular teeth, and that's the Highland Park agate blade. It's the green one. It's got like little teeth in it. So on the slab saw, that's okay because everything's held in a vise. The saw is moving so slow. You see me kind of almost. I'm not necessarily forcing it in there, but I'm not going like on the slab saw where it takes like a half an hour, 45 minutes to cut a rock. I'm doing it in like a minute or 2 minutes, maybe even less than that. I didn't time it. So yeah, blades are blades. Can you get them from anywhere? Yeah, you can probably get them from anywhere. Same with a lot of these cabbing wheels and stuff like that. Where they're coming from. I know like the Nova wheels, which have the softer back where you can where it flexes in more to make it easier to make a cab. Them are a lot more expensive just because they have a foam thing. No, I think just because it was like the new thing, they're not any harder to make than the other ones, but just because it's they're going to charge you more, twice as much as whatever. Or you can, like on my hard wheels, I use sintered wheels, and sintered wheels are, the actual diamond cutting depth on the wheel is like, it's thick. It's, got to be at least a half an inch or maybe more than that. So basically it's going to last a long time rather than a regular wheel that just has a thin layer of diamond on there. So yeah, basically it all depends on what you're after. And then if you go like over here on my high test, on this blade, on this one, and this is just a 6-inch saw, and this blade is like, it's like a piece of paper. And that works really good for once you have your slabs cut and you're cutting out your shapes, or you're doing like the opals. You want no vibration. You want real fine cuts. Like same with like when you're working on obsidian or basically anything that's like super hard, like the silica, the stuff that's super hard. Say like if you would drop a slab on the floor and it would break into like 50 pieces, that's because it's super hard. It's almost like glass. It is glass, basically. It's gem silica or silica. So when you're cutting stuff like this, you want the thinnest blade you can, especially.
So Jeff is saying they all suck from Harbor Freight and Lowe's.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't have any Harbor Freight.
He says this.
Oh no, yeah, but right, Jeff. So now I've got some wet tile saws. I have like the 10-inch, and I got a 7-inch. I use the diamond. Is it like diamond coat? I don't know. It's got like a red package or whatever, and I can cut quite a few rocks on there. But yeah, it does. They do wear down. So yeah, maybe there is.
So he said he got one from Kingsley. It was so thin it warped on him.
The blade warped.
Yeah.
On what kind of a saw? On your 10-inch, it warped on you? That's weird because on my yeah, I'll move back in. On my big saw, my 14-inch, I've had rocks jam in there. And when they jammed in there, obviously it kicked out the machine. And, I went out there and like, the blade was like, oh no. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know how expensive those 14-inch blades, the bigger blades
He has
are?
a 10-inch high-tech.
Yes, that's what this is.
So that's what that is.
So when that bent that blade, I thought, oh man. And again, I watched Jared on Currently Rock Hounding, and he kind of like took one and he bent it back, and I thought, well, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I did. I took it, and that's what I did. I kind of bent on it, and I bent it back to shape, and I've been using that blade now for 2 years. And I've had other people too that, like the cabbing wheels and the blades, they're like saying like, oh, I go through a cabbing wheel in like 3 months. I'm like, these are just about still my original cabbing wheels on here. These are my original blades. A lot of people, when you're working with diamond, again, we're all in a hurry. You see me shoving that rock through there. You need to take your time, let the blade cut, let the machine do the work. You don't want to be shoving stuff, forcing it through. And then when you see me cutting them big stones, when I'm cutting, as I'm cutting, and I'll be like pushing, and then I'll let go, because I'll let the saw blade come back. Because if I start moving it this way, I'll stop and then push again and try to, you're trying to keep even pressure. But I just keep stopping and letting the saw blade move the rock back to where it needs
where
to
did
be.
he get this saw blade from? Or where did he get this from?
The saw from?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think I ordered it second through. Maybe I got it from High Tech. I don't really remember.
Oh, she wants to know about the splash guard.
Oh, I made that myself. So what I did is I went and got a piece of flat plexiglass. If I have some around here, maybe. Oh, lordy. So all you have to do is you buy the flat plexiglass, and I don't. Oh yeah, and then just take a regular. No, I don't have a regular torch in here. So you put it on the edge of a table, right? Say like I want to put my bend in here, and all I did is took and don't do a wooden table or something with a tablecloth. It's got to be something, metal or something. So I just took the torch and I just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it basically just starts to get this soft. And then that's all you got to do is just bend it. And once you got it bent, you just hold it until it cools off, and then it turns solid. So that's basically what I did. And then you can even see this, because this wasn't my seeing edge. This was just a tight edge. So I actually cooked it where it like started to boil. So yeah, that's all I did. Was made that out of a thin sheet of plexiglass, and then I just heated it up with a torch. So no reason to buy nothing special, no big freaking deal. You can make that for, and of course I don't know what plexiglass is at like Menards or something anymore, but it can't be real expensive.
So then what? You just put a towel on the back
and
of
then,
it?
Yeah, you're just throwing a towel over here to reduce the splashing or whatever. And then we have a big barn fan. Like in the summertime, I'll run a big barn fan behind me that blows. If there is any more mist coming, it blows it right out the door where you're not really breathing in stuff. But again, when you're talking water, vapor, it's not, it's mist, and yeah, it's probably not real good for you either, but it's not like it's dust. It's not dust. Just keep plenty of water in there. As long as you got your towel, it's not doing a lot of mist. And then if you look at my cabber over here,
It's like an obstacle course. It's got it.
It's busy in here. So when I run my cabber over here, I have a fan right here. So I turn this fan on, high power. And so now when I'm doing my cabbing stuff, the fan is blowing all the fine particles down away from me. And then anything big that's splashing is nothing you're going to be breathing in. So that's how, again, you want to kind of cut down as much dust as you can. So things like that you're gonna do to really help you out. Right? Makes sense.
All right. So just a couple more you're gonna cut?
Yeah, I'll cut some more.
Okay.
Why, you in a hurry?
No. Well, no. What are you looking at?
What time it is? It's only 7:16.
Okay.
All right. So here's the next one we're gonna cut. We'll cut this orangey. Again, it kind of looks like a jasper,
Cynthia said that was the best one she's ever seen made.
but it's got some little. Thank you. I'm an artist when it comes to bending plastic, right? Yeah, it's not really hard, you know. And then, of course, I always keep a spray bottle here because you get that ugly looking dust on there. So a lot of times I'll run the spray and just squirt it a couple times, and that keeps it a lot of the crap out of my eyes, or out of my view, I should say. So I'll cut this one up real quick.
And he's got it mounted on wheels.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing too, real quick. Now if you look here, wheels, right? I can move this. I can move this. And of course my cabbing machine, I can move this whole cabbing machine around too. So now, like in the morning, when the sunlight's coming in this, like blinding me, you know, yeah, I could put a piece of cardboard there, but I can move it around, and I have moved this around, and I've had it over here, and I've had it over there. So yeah, depending on, you know, what you want to look at outside, you know, if you have the windows like this, I can move this machine around anywhere. And then the same with that machine, you know, I can move it around. So yeah, putting them, and again, you know, if you would go to a store and look at like casters, you know, the caster wheels, they're like super expensive. Like, oh, what, are you kidding me? So what I did is I went to Harbor Freight, and they got those little furniture movers. It's like a little 4 pieces of wood, and they got 4 casters on there. They're like $9 or $10 or something, or maybe it was like $7. And I got that home, and I took the wheels off of there, and I stuck them on here. So I got 4 wheels for under $10 on both my machines. So yeah, that's something to think about. Always reinvent stuff. All right, let's cut this rock.
Okay. Yes, he did that, Patty. All his saws, all his stuff, even his great big saw out in the other room has wheels.
What?
You have wheels on even your big saw.
Yes, my slab saw has wheels too, because you know, when I cut stuff in the wintertime, it's nice that it's freezing cold out there, because the oil will stay cooler longer so you can cut more rocks. But then when I want to change the oil, then I can wheel it in here where it's warmer, and change the oil. And that's kind of a dud. Well, maybe not a dud, but then I can change the oil in the warm of the shop. Well, yeah, not bad. Kind of weird looking. Kind of plain. I'll give it a plain. I'll give it a grade of plain. Probably nothing I'll ever make a.
So Jeff said he got one of those gray carts from Harbor Freight and gave me 3 straight casters and 1 swivel.
Oh, right. Yes.
So that helped to move the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah. You know, a lot of times when I'm working on here, you'll see me kick these wheels sideways, because when I'm starting to saw, it'll start rolling away from me. So I gotta kick those 2 wheels so they're not,
because they're swiveled.
Yeah, so they're not rolling away. So yeah, there's a downfall of that too. And this got really dirty fast is because I cut that big rock, and my splash guard lifted up, and it was spraying up higher. So yeah, so we'll cut this little ready thing, but it's got some cool looking bots on top. But we're cutting bots. We don't care about bots. We cut bots. Now you can see how hard that was. That little tiny piece took a lot to cut. And that was just a tiny little piece. That one even broke a little chunk out. All right, let's got that ugly bot on top. Ooh, it's got a lot more white in there than I would have suspected.
Oh, but it's got them really. Oh, come in focus here.
Oh, that's got some real cool agatization there too. Yeah, it's got really cool looking color too. Ain't bad. Not bad. Not too shabby. Oh, here we go. Here's one with water line. We'll cut a nice little water line. I'll chop this right in. Well, no, I'll cut a slab off it.
That didn't seem to take very long.
No, because it's pretty tiny. Okay, here's a tiny little water line.
Oh.
And it's water line.
That's pretty.
Kind of what you'd expect from a water line.
A lot of ideas there.
Yeah, like to write a note on.
Yeah.
Looks like a piece of paper. Not a big fan of water lines. I'm a color guy. I like stones with colors and more colors and more colors.
Sorry guys, I didn't mean to make you sick. Wiggling you around too much.
Uggos here. We'll cut another piece of reddy orange kind of jigger here.
So Jerry, what do you think? What is your favorite stone to cut?
My favorite stone to cut.
Yeah.
Boy.
Is that a tough one?
Yes, that is a tough one. Let's take a look at this. I'll think. Because there's a lot of, boy, you know, like the agates. There's so many cool looking. Wow,
that has a lot happening on them.
That's a good mossy there. Even got some green up on top. So yeah, I mean that's what, you know, what's my favorite to cut? Whatever I'm cutting at the time that I'm cutting, right? I mean, you know, and I shouldn't say that because, you know, like stones can be, you know, like let's take this for example. You know, you got a piece of lapis. And this is lapis from Afghanistan, so it's much more bluer than like say with like Russian or something where you get a lot of the white, you know, the stuff, and it's got hematite in it too. But this blue, you know, beautiful looking stuff. But again, you know, pretty plain, you know, expensive, but plain, you know, jade, just green, you know, it's plain, kind of boring, you know, a lot of the, and then the agates can be, you know, where you got, you know, like the banded agates, and yeah, there can be some colors and stuff.
Jeff's saying Malawi.
And shapes, but again, it's still, you know, it's still, you kind of almost know as you're cutting what to cut. Not if you got like a whole nodule, then it could be anything on the inside, but it's basically, you know, kind of the same. But you know, when you get to like some of these, you know, like the Inca agates, those were really cool to cut. But you know, when you get to stuff, yeah, and then you know what we're cutting right now, this, you know, and if I would, let's move this over here. Oh, now if I would, you know, so, you know, when you cut stuff like this, you know, I mean, the patterns and the colors and you just, you know, it's crazy. But then you get like something like this, and yeah, you know, so yeah, it can, you know, stuff like this is just wild, you know. And then, but like what, like one of my favorites, I don't know if I've got any good pieces here. Let's see this one. Let's, you know, stuff like this. You know, when you cut like stuff like that, you know, I like to say I'm a color guy. I just love these crazy colors and patterns. You just never know. And this is a jasper, so you just never know when you're cutting and what you're gonna get. So yeah, so you know, and then like the floor. This is flower of peach. You know, and you know, which is an agate, but you cut this and you cut this and you cut this, and yes, they're really cool. You know, excellent, beautiful pattern. Same with like, you know, crazy lace, but it, you know, it's very similar. You just never, you know, it's you can kind of almost know what the next piece is going to look like, because it's not
So you
really,
like the surprise.
yeah, so it's not really
The surprise of
changing
color.
it. Yes. But now when you got, let's see if I can find a good. So now if you got like Port Hedland, and Port Hedland is the same as Norina. Norina is a town in Australia. Port Hedland is a town in Australia, just a little ways down the road. So it's, you know, I'm sure it's the same formation, just coming from two different places. Before they were mining the Norina, they were mining the Port Hedland, and that's what we got years and years ago, was the Port Hedland. So when you cut this Port Hedland and the Norina, again, you just, every cut is so much different. So, you know, when you get stuff like that and you're cut into that, you know, I mean, come on, that's like fire. And literally, it's like fire. I should have done this for the Halloween, right? That's literally fire. You know, that's crazy. And then And then.
Oh, hi, Karen.
Hey, Karen. Cheers.
I had asked Jerry what was his favorite rock to cut, and he's saying he likes when there's a surprise in the wrapper.
And you know, Jerry's got too many. So now this is a jasper, and this is really rare. At least, you know, rare to me because I haven't seen a lot. But this stuff, it's just it's whatever. But the, you know, it's got like a flame, that flame pattern.
Yes, Jerry
middle.
thinks the surprise in the pack is what he likes.
So yeah, when you're cutting stuff like that, you just never know each cut, you know, what you're gonna get, because every cut is 100% changed from the previous cut. You know, and you get stuff like...
Now, this stuff reminds me of fire.
So you get stuff like this, you know, and I don't know if you got a good light there. Brenda's getting this in a good light or not. But, you know, it can be just... And like I say, each slice you take, it just changes so drastically. That,
sorry, guys, if my camera work isn't the best. Jerry moves around a lot.
So, of course, yes, you got to get them 10,000 steps in, remember?
Yes, I do need 10,000 steps.
The Jaspers always seem to have a lot more going than agates do. And that's just my personal opinion, because Brenda doesn't like what I like. I'm a Jasper guy. So you get stuff like this. I don't know if that's a good light again. You know, to me, that's just crazy.
Karen likes the yellows too. So that's the kind of stuff you like to cut, as the surprise.
I'm a Jasper guy. I like cutting Jaspers. Jaspers. And of course, everything, you know.
And so does that hold true? Do you like to work with different stuff, or is it like, do you like the Jaspers and...
What do you like to work with?
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you're going to work with stuff, obviously the softer is going to be the easier to work with to make a finished product. But the harder it is, the better the shine. So, yeah, so hard stuff. And you know, when he talks about hardnesses...
No, Jasper, Jerry, she's calling you.
Yes, when you talk about hardnesses and workability, you know, come on. That's like a walk through hell. I was going to do a cab. This was going to be my cab contest for this month for the Halloween. I was going to call it the Hellstone, but I didn't. I didn't use it. So yeah, you know, the harder the stone, the better the polish. You know, the harder stuff is, it polishes it better. So yeah, you love the hard stuff too. And again, everything, you know, everything is its own monkey. You know, what do I love doing the most? Something different because, you know, and oh, I know. The opals, I burnt myself out. I've got. This is how many more opals I got to do yet. I have these. Right, I got all these. I got all these to cut up, and I have all these.
And how many have you did?
Over 50.
Over 50?
Yes, and I'm done. I need a break on opals. I opaled myself out. I'm tired of freaking opals. Right now, I'm just tired. I opaled out. So now this, you know, where you have, you know, all that color, all those little deals.
Like confetti.
You know, how can you not like that? But a lot of people don't like busy stones, you know. They like simple, clean, like you say, like the lapis.
Is that why you wear busy clothes?
Or
Is
the
because you
jade.
like busy?
Busy? Do I wear busy clothes?
Yeah, you're
I'm
always
from
in.
Wisconsin. It's law here in Wisconsin. You have to wear plaid. It's a law.
It is.
It's a
Okay,
law.
they'll bust you if you don't wear plaid.
Yes.
Okay.
Al Borland will come and get you. So agates, and I'm not knocking agates too, because
So Jeff wants to know, has anyone ever tried to cab up polished black tourmaline? Have you?
so basically, Jeff, just look at that. I mean, come on. That's beautiful. Dang, is that beautiful. Color. So basically, Jeff, go look on somebody's website and look for a cab tourmaline necklace or a cab tourmaline ring, and you're not going to find it because the nature of the stone, it's not like a regular tourmaline. They also call, and of course, you may have a nice piece, but they call it scroll. It's not solid enough. And I've got some huge pieces somewhere. I don't know why I can't find anything. Everything's so organized. But I have some really good pieces. I just thought of where it was. So I've got some really good pieces, and I mess with it, and you can't do nothing. I mean, your piece may be different, but
Patricia's saying that a flat lap to work with it because it's very brittle.
yes, it's very brittle. So and again, it's not like porous where you can like stabilize it. So yeah, I've never messed with it just because it's one of them stones. And again, like people are, people like the again, like turquoise. I know it's hard to see because it's in plastic. Turquoise. And yeah, and there's a beautiful piece right there. Take that out. So with turquoise, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's cool, yeah, it's neat, but it's the same. No matter what you do, it's the same. A lot of these rocks, no matter what you do, it's they're kind of neat. They kind of got their place. When you talk like malachite, when you get these big bubbles, yeah, malachite's pretty cool. It can be lots of good patterns, but it stays the same. This rock, and generally, you're gonna have some. If you cut it this way, you're just gonna have like banding like an agate, but if you cut it this way, you're going to have orbs, like round, concentrating round circle things, depending on how you cut it, but it's going to always be the same. Now, here's some with chrysocolla, but again, the malachite is just going to be always that same. You're not going to get anything different. You're not going to get any different colors. It's always going to be like that.
So you don't care for the same. You'd rather do color.
Yes, and again, the varicites and stuff like that, it's going to be green. That's what it is. It's going to be green. And this stuff takes a beautiful polish, but it's always going to be green. Here's a different kind of varicite. This is webbed, or this is actually turquoise, where you got like this webbed look to it. It's always.
So what he's saying, I figured since it grows in crystal form, it was a bit harder and would polish. Just didn't know if I had to do it a certain direction or something.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think direction. I don't know if it's real directional. I wouldn't think it is. But it's just, it's just brittle. I mean, I wouldn't go on like your rough wheel, the roughest one. start with like the second wheel in, probably a little bit smoother, and probably start big, and then see where you end up with. I know I've got it
Oh, well.
somewhere.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, you're off subject now anyhow.
Yes,
so
I've got some. Let me put my agates away.
Yes.
Yeah.
You tend to do that squirrel off.
You think so?
Yeah.
No. I'm a steady ship. And then your tiger eyes, same thing. Each piece looks the same as the last piece. Yeah, you get some different colors. Rainforest looks the same. Leopard skin can change color, but it's always the same. The dendritic jaspers, the Sonoran stuff. Even like the Montana agates. Yeah, there's a couple different varieties, but they all look the same. The Agua Neve, now that could be different. You can get like purples.
So he wants to know, is the black different from colored kind, like watermelon or other colors?
Yes, a lot different. The other ones it's different. So yes, I have some in trays, some tourmalines. I've got a bunch already faceted in the house, but yeah, it's a lot different. Like I say, black tourmaline or scroll, and I don't know, maybe it's not the same thing. Karen should be the expert on that. It's not. It's a different beast, because you can even get Jeff in this moonstone. See that right there? That's scroll. That's black tourmaline in there. So did it polish? Yeah, it took a nice polish there. If you took that out of there, would it hold together? Here's another kind of a piece, beautiful polish, but again, it's held in there. So by itself, I don't know. That's what I said. Try it, man. Have fun with it. Maybe you'll be the new kid on the block that's doing that. Oh, Brenda, relax. So you're gonna be the new kid on the block that the first guy that has the black tourmaline ring or black tourmaline necklace. When being from Wisconsin here, everybody was like, "Oh, that moonstone, yeah, it's really beautiful. It's really yada yada yada, but you can't really do much with it." And I heard that over and over and over and again. And this is a huge piece. And don't tell me you can't do anything with it. So this, and if anybody's familiar with like gravel, and from Wisconsin we have crushed red granite they call gravel. I mean, it just falls apart. I could probably, if I have a piece over here somewhere.
He is making me do my 10,000 steps by moving around so much.
So with the moonstone.
Sorry if it's like wiggly, guys.
But yeah, so moonstone, I can take most of it, and you can just break it. I mean, you can literally just break it. Take your fingers and break it. And when you're cutting it, it's just crumbling away.
Jeff said, "Jerry, you can't do anything with it."
Yes, when you're cutting it, it just crumbles away. So out in the garage. Yeah, I think it's in the garage. I have my vacuum pot, and with the Opticon.
Oh, you want to see these?
With the Opticon. Oh, my fishing baits. With the Opticon, you can stabilize it, and it takes a lot of different steps, but the end result, it's solid, and I wore that thing for the longest time, and it's really solid. So So yeah.
You're welcome.
When I do my moonstone, when I do the moonstone cabs, where's that moonstone cab at? So what I'll do with this moonstone cab, after it's already stabilized, I will take it and I will do my first 3 wheels with my cab, and then I'll stop, and then I'll take that and then I'll coat it again with the Opticon and bake it and put that thin layer of Opticon on there, and then go back to my 280 wheel and then continue on down the line, because I don't want any cracks, any crevices, any little pits and spots in there and the end product. So I do that extra little step so that when it's done, there's nothing, and if I wouldn't have done that, you'd see a crack here, you'd see cracks, you'd see little spots and pits. But because I did that extra step, it turned out this solid piece. So, can anything be polished? Yes.
You almost have it 80 in here.
And is it?
Yeah.
Cool. So again, like the Petoskey stone, super soft, can it be polished? Well, look at the polish it takes, and it's probably a little smudgy now. But again, it's super soft. When you look at these Petoskey stones, when we find them, that's a Petoskey stone. When you find it, that's what it looks like. It's just a dry, old, bleached beach rock. And believe it or not,
there's lots of hooks on those lures.
Oh yeah,
the opal guy.
That almost looks like I'm forgetting. Yeah.
You just have too many brains.
A thingamajigger. Yeah, you want to talk about hooks? Check this guy out. This is one of my favorite old time lures. Look at the hooks. Like, if you caught a fish with this, how in the heck would you even get that out of his freaking mouth? You'd have to kill the fish first. And could you imagine those guys using these things? He's even got two propellers on the front and the back. So imagine using that one day. Oh, I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
See, just like you, just got hooked just touching it.
Yes, because it's so freaking dangerous because there's so many hooks on it. So yeah, these are old. A lot of these are like really, really old. Some of them aren't real, real old, but a lot of them are real, real old. Yeah, if you're like a fisherman and you've ever used Rapalas before the Rapala that you have now, and we used to call these stupid eyes compared to the new Rapalas. They put the eyes like in front rather than on the sides. Like fish don't have eyes in front, but they had metal lips. This is an old Rapala. These things, they went like $30-$40 for these things now. So yeah, these are the old Rapalas before everything went like cheapy plastic. And then like on a Daredevil, and I know I got off base, like I always get off base. On like Daredevils, the old Daredevils used to have the devil on there. I don't know if you can see the devil. And I guess now they're putting the devil back on Daredevils, but back in the day, you used to get these with these what they call clinkers, with these two little spinners on the side, and they just made a little bit of more noise. And they call them, these are very collectible too, these Daredevils, Daredevils. Clinkers.
We do a lot of fishing, so
yes.
When we were younger, we fished more. As we gotten older, I can't go up and down the streams for. Let's put it on the edge.
I can't reach.
Your Irma's giving out?
No, it's too high. So yeah,
yes, getting one of those barbs is no joke. My mom cut one out of a blanket when I was little, and it went into her thumb, and she had to drive us to the bar to give my dad, and my dad had to drive her to the emergency to get that out of her thumb.
Yeah, so when I was fishing, we have the Wisconsin River. It's got smallmouth bass. So I had like a regular Rapala, something similar to this, just with two hooks. And this was like an 18-inch smallie, and I got it to shore, and because it's a bass, you can lip it. and I reached down to lip it, and just then it jumped out of the water and sent one of the treble hooks right into my thumb like that. And then it was just flotch and slop and flipping back and forth with that hook hanging in my thumb and in his lip. And what do? Well, you reach with your other freaking hand to grab it, and it's a slimy fish, so it slid up, and I got the other treble hook in my other thumb. So I've got both thumbs in each treble hook on that Rapala, and that freaking smallmouth bass flopping back and forth. So eventually I got the bass, calmed down, I stuck it in between my knees, and then I finally got the hook out of the bass and got the bass back in the water. And I thought, now I got to get help. So I turn around, I'm thinking like, how am I even going to get my keys out of my pocket? How am I even going to drive? I got this freaking Rapala, stuck my two thumbs together. So I eventually kind of just, worked and twisted around and got the one hook and just ripped it out, and then thought, well, I did it on one thumb, and I grabbed it and took the other one and out and just ripped. And if people aren't fishermen, they got like a barb on a hook. That's what keeps the fish on your line, is that little tiny barb there. So yes, when you rip that out, oh man, thank God it didn't catch any tendons. Otherwise, I'd have been really freaking screwed if it caught tendons, because then you could be in problems. And since, and before then and after then, if you're fish, I've ripped so many hooks out of my hands and everywhere else on my body. Brenda, like we're in the boat, and all of a sudden I'll be like casting, all of a sudden I'll see this jig or something come by me like this close, shoot. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, right, what? You almost freaking snagged my nose or my ear. So that's fishing. Oh, turn around. Brenda, now it's pointing at you.
No, turn the
Well, you
camera
just
around.
handed it to me.
My arm is going to fall off.
Oh, Brenda's arm. Here, I'll switch it back over. So Brenda's arm is going to fall off. So, fishing, yeah, I think we lost almost everybody on the fishing stories, but yes. So I've said this, once. I've said this a million times. We're all rock people. We all love our rocks, but get out there and do some other stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff. We collect tons of stuff. We do estate sailing, and I get a lot of good deals of rocks at estate sales too. So yeah, we as a matter of fact, grab that piece of.
Oh.
I just picked this up.
Oh, sorry.
Well, she broke it. I just picked this up at an estate sale, and again, I've got so much petrified wood, but again, it was just a couple bucks. So how can you pass a nice piece like that for just a couple bucks? It's even got like a little knot in there. So yeah, a couple bucks. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it, right? So yeah, it's what we do, right? You don't want to put all your eggs into one basket. You got to kind of mix stuff up. So
make life interesting.
We mix stuff up. I've been late now that it's late October coming into November. We've been doing a lot of firewood. So
you got to handle that firewood at least like 6 times before it gives you good heat.
Yeah, so we're splitting some more stuff. And of course, these are logs or round pieces that have been drying for years, but now we just split them up and start moving stuff into the porch. Start moving stuff closer to the garage because heating season's coming, and we're going to be using a lot of it. Of course, we got the pellet stove.
Yeah, I showed him that. You're going the wrong way.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, we got the pellet stove, so that's nice to keep it warm in here, but again, it's a pellet stove, so it's a lot of work too. So yeah, so anyhow, so we'll wrap this up. Brenda said, get done, get done. We got to get done. We got to go in the house. So, yes, I guess we're wrapping this up. So, thanks everybody for hanging around. The people that did hang around, thanks everybody for showing up and
I hope it was something interesting.
asking questions. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Karen, right? Yeah, this isn't half of it, Karen. In the garage, the regular garage, the whole 25 feet of wall, 8 feet tall,
Is rocks.
Is rocks, and that's bin after bin after bin after bin after bin of every kind of rock.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.
Every kind of rock you can imagine. So
All right.
yeah. So again, I'm rambling on again.
Yes.
And Brenda's cutting me off again. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you want to see anything in the future, just let me know. And I know when we were watching,
if you want some stuff.
Yes, I know when we were watching Karen's last night, Allison asked me if she was looking for some cabs, and I answered her, and I don't know if she never answered back or not, but yes, we got all kinds of stuff, and Allison, if you're out there somewhere, just email us.
If there's a need,
I'll get my email. Brenda lost my magic marker I can write on my eraser board, so we can't write on that right now unless it's permanent marker.
I didn't lose it. I think it grew legs and just walked out of here.
Probably. So I will, get my email out there. So yeah, I'm always willing to let some material loose. Love to trade rocks if it's something I don't have. Yeah, it's something I don't have, right? No, actually, there is some stuff that I don't have. It's very expensive though, so I'm always willing to trade anything for something very expensive.
All right.
So yeah. Anyhow, I'm going on again. So yeah. So thanks everybody. Have a good night. See ya soon in a rock room near you. Thanks everybody for watching.